Dark Control, AI and Humanity's End, continuing with our discussion of the various sections. In this section, we're talking about humanoids. This is the sixth section of this work. Humanoid robots. This is one of the things that is coming into human society more and more is the penetration of humanoid robots into our lives. Also into industry, it's already exists there. Robotics in itself exists in industry more than, say, humanoid robots. Humanoid robots is more aimed at direct interface with human beings, whereas industrial robots are for in the workplace doing heavy lifting and industrial scale work. To understand what humanoid robots are and how they pose a threat and how hard it is to secure them is this video we have.
The robots are here, cybersecurity's biggest crisis. The dawn of the robotic age, once the stuff of science fiction, is now a reality. Robots, powered by advanced artificial intelligence (AI), are increasingly becoming part of our daily lives, from autonomous vehicles and drones to factory automation and even healthcare. While these advancements bring numerous benefits, they also introduce a new set of challenges, particularly in the realm of cybersecurity. As robots become more integrated into critical infrastructure and personal environments, the risks associated with their exploitation by malicious actors grow exponentially. This video delves into the cybersecurity crisis that is emerging alongside the rise of robotics, exploring the potential threats, vulnerabilities, and necessary steps to mitigate these risks. 1. The growing integration of robots in society. Robots are becoming integral to various sectors, including manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, and domestic environments. Their ability to perform complex tasks with high efficiency and precision makes them invaluable in these areas. However, as robots become more sophisticated and connected, they also become potential targets for cyber attacks. Industrial and manufacturing robots. In industries, robots are used for tasks such as assembly, welding, painting, and packaging. These robots are often networked and integrated into broader industrial systems, making them susceptible to cyber threats. Automation vulnerabilities. Industrial robots are programmed to follow specific sequences and tasks. If a hacker gains access to these systems, they can manipulate the robot's behavior, potentially causing production errors, damaging equipment, or even endangering human workers. Supply chain risks. The interconnected nature of industrial robots means that a cyber attack on one part of the supply chain can have cascading effects, disrupting entire production lines and causing significant economic losses. AI manipulation. Robots often rely on AI algorithms to make decisions and perform tasks. These AI systems can be vulnerable to manipulation by adversarial attacks, where hackers introduce subtle changes to input data that lead the AI to make incorrect decisions. Misguided actions. In industrial settings, manipulated AI could cause robots to perform tasks incorrectly, leading to defective products or unsafe conditions. Healthcare dangers. In healthcare, adversarial attacks could lead surgical robots to make errors during procedures or administer incorrect treatments, putting patients at risk. Domestic compromise. In homes, AI manipulation could cause robots to malfunction, potentially leading to property damage or other hazards. Botnet exploitation. A botnet is a network of internet-connected devices that have been compromised and controlled by a hacker. Robots, being network devices, can be recruited into botnets, amplifying the scope and impact of cyber attacks. Distributed denial of service (DDoS) attacks. A botnet of compromised robots can be used to launch DDoS attacks, overwhelming a target's servers with traffic and causing service disruptions. Widespread malware distribution. Robots in a botnet could be used to spread malware across networks, infecting other devices and systems, leading to a large-scale cybersecurity crisis. Remote command execution. Hackers controlling a botnet of robots could remotely execute commands, potentially causing widespread damage or disruptions in multiple locations simultaneously.
So you can see that there is a large amount of areas that need to be secured with humanoid robots. This chart is one of the ways that we can see how complicated it is to secure everything with a humanoid robot, whether it's going from, networking issues, dealing with data being updated to the cloud and read from the cloud, or securing the processors, making sure that the sensor arrays are working properly and aren't being tampered with. There are many ways that this makes the cybersecurity of humanoid robots very complex. What you get out of this in securing humanoid robots is 7 layers: a physical layer, a data processing layer, a sensing and perception layer, a middleware layer, a decision-making layer, an application layer, and a social interface layer. And all these have to be secured, and there's no uniform way to secure them. Each layer has its own unique security features that have to be addressed. Another difference between humanoid robots is that between civilian humanoid robots and those designed for the military to be used in warfare. These are weaponized humanoid robots. One primary difference between a civilian and a military humanoid robot is a military humanoid robot may be hardened, that is, have countermeasures or defenses against being shut down by something like an electromagnetic pulse weapon. Whereas a civilian robot should not have those things. It should be easy to shut them down in an emergency. One of the security threats that people have studied, security experts have studied, is that of unitary robots being able to be used as surveillance platforms or used, their control can be taken over by malicious actors outside of the system or outside the locality where the robot is. This presents some very serious consequences or concerns. You can imagine what it could be like if a malicious actor suddenly turned all robots against their owners, or if you wanted to occupy a country, you would just take over their humanoid robots and all of a sudden you have an occupying army. There's no laws requiring disclosure by humanoid robot vendors. This shows some of the major vendors in this space, not all of them. You can see what could happen in the scenario of malicious actors taking over humanoid robots and how this could be catastrophic to a society to suddenly see themselves under occupation by an antagonistic force, which you can't even reach because they've hacked your robots, and your own robots are now your own occupation force. But there's a lack of regulation on civilian humanoid robots internationally and in the United States of America. There's no common agreement about what should be secured. Of course, those who are trying to make a bunch of money off of humanoid robots don't want any friction against their making money, so they don't want any regulations, and they don't really like talking about regulations that much in a way that is enforceable that might be used outside of them. You might view some vendors of robots who talk about securing their robot armies as a concern about, maintaining their intellectual property and their money that they have put into these systems. But at the same time, they seem to cherish those things more than the common good or public safety. Yet the government regulations, again, since the Trump administration has come into power, regulations have lessened. There's more roadblocks being placed against those who want to regulate AI or robotics. So we're kind of in this paradox where that which can help us can also hurt us, and there's no way for anybody to really regulate how they're developing these things, because there's all this friction against regulation, because that would be friction against their ability to profit off of these products that they have developed for the sole reason of making money.
Three, addressing the cybersecurity crisis. Given the growing threats and vulnerabilities associated with robotics, it is crucial to implement robust cybersecurity measures to protect these systems. This involves a combination of technical solutions, regulatory frameworks, and ongoing vigilance. Security by design. One of the most effective ways to enhance the cybersecurity of robots is to incorporate security features from the ground up during the design and development stages. Encryption and authentication. Implementing strong encryption and authentication protocols ensures that only authorized users can access and control robotic systems, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Regular software updates. Keeping robotic systems updated with the latest security patches is essential to protect against newly discovered vulnerabilities. Manufacturers should provide regular updates and encourage users to apply them promptly. Access controls. Limiting access to robotic systems based on user roles and responsibilities can prevent unauthorized individuals from gaining control over critical functions. Regulatory and industry standards. Governments and industry bodies need to establish clear regulations and standards for the cybersecurity of robotic systems. These regulations should cover everything from design requirements to incident response protocols. As robots become more integrated into our daily lives and critical infrastructure, the need for robust cybersecurity measures has never been greater. The rise of robotics brings with it a host of new vulnerabilities and threats, from ransomware attacks to AI manipulation and botnet exploitation. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach involving security by design, regulatory standards, and ongoing vigilance. By taking proactive steps to secure robotic systems, we can harness the benefits of this technology while minimizing the risks, ensuring that the robots of the future serve us safely and securely.